Pleasure to be here. I would like to add a little bit on the top of that presentation that was awesome. First, I born and raised in Mexico City. I'm 50 years old. And I'm happily married for almost 30 years. And you can see my smile. And my wife is sitting there. I have 2 sons. And in 2004, I moved to Houston, Texas. And then in 2011, I became U.S. citizen. And having said that, thank you all for being here to listen to this presentation. Better yet, business opportunity. And I call Creekside Court because that's the name of the development that I'm doing right now. I'm going to talk a little bit about the background. And I mean background, my background in real estate. Back in 2006, there was a big crush in the stock market in China. I have my life savings, put it in the stock market. Even the proceeds from my house in Mexico. You can imagine how depressed I was that in a couple of days I lost a good part of my life in savings. Even I was grumpy, depressed, bad tempered. I had all kind of feelings, all kind of emotions. You cannot imagine saving all your life and all of a sudden in a couple of days you lose half of that. Probably you've been familiar with that because the stock market crashes so many times. Those days, I was thinking, what I'm gonna do, how I'm gonna recover that money. I had pain in my stomach. I was depressed. I said, how? And you know, those nights that you cannot sleep, I was passing with the control of the TV, passing channels, and all of a sudden I found that there was this workshop in Houston, Texas, really close to my office, in one hotel, the real estate investments. And I said, sounds good. I'm going to take my lunchtime to go to that workshop. I went to that workshop, and guess what? There's a sales speech. I paid $500 to go 2 days to a training for real estate at Ritz Hotel here at downtown. So, oh wow, not bad. But when I get there, I start finding that there was a lot of opportunities. Not because they were selling me that course, because I understand more about what was real estate. And that's what I said, why real estate? Because when I was young, I always hear from my uncles and from my family that real estate is very stable. It's an asset. It's tangible. It's something that you can have and manage yourself. After this crisis on the housing market, it was before when I started having my money back from the stock market, and I said, okay, that's a good opportunity for me to go to the real estate. How I'm going to do this? And then I found this club, Lifestyles Unlimited. I created my company in 2006, ERAX Enterprises, which is ERAX, ER for Eric, which is my older son, AX for Axel, which is the second son, so that's what is ERAX. And when I joined Lifestyles Unlimited, I went to take a training course for 2 days. And then they have a group, a preferred investors group, that they call PIG. For me, sounds a little ugly, but they call PIG, and that means preferred investor group. And I became a PIG member. And it was very interesting because I paid $10,000 to be trained. And I think it was worth because they said, if you get a property with us, we are going to start reimburse you all this money up to a level of 90% of what you pay. And I said, okay, if I use them, probably I can get 9,000 back. It was a good deal. So I started going with them, I started buying properties, and guess what? In 2006, I got purchased 9 houses. 9 houses when exactly the crisis started hitting the housing market. But even though I got a very good equity on those properties, that even when the market is still going down, I still safe with those properties. I decided to sell 3 of them. Why? Because I wanted to know more about the flipping. Because there was something that they say flip, that is buy and sell. And the others, I buy them, I fix them, and I rent them, and I keep them. But then, soon after, in 2009, I had about 20 single-family houses, But at that moment, my family, my friends, started looking at what I was doing, and they said, hey, is that possible for me to invest some money in your business? Can I bring some money to you and you help me to do something like that? I said, sure, why not? And I became with the idea to create a business model for the foreign investors and also for my friends here in Houston. Because all of them were entrepreneurs working in different areas, but they didn't have time to go to the real estate market and do what I was doing and train what I had already as trained. So I started going to that venture, and then we decided to go and buy and acquire 80 units in an apartment complex. Oh, wow, my God. I thought it was great, but it was a great experience. Why? Because you know what is best in real estate? They say location, location, location. Have you ever heard that? Why location, location, location? Because that's true. Part of the business in real estate is if you have location, you already have the marketing and you are going to create value. So I got a piece of property in downtown Houston called Central Apartments. See the location, right there in Fulton and Cavalcade, inside the Loop Heights area. Even it was a little bit on the east side of the 45, it was a great location. And better yet, the light train that runs up to UH downtown was going to pass through that line of Fulton Street, and they add 5 more stops up to the 610 North. And my property was exactly in the third one, Fulton and Cavalcade. So it was a great added value to my property. And I said, okay, that was good. When I found that this property was a piece of trash, because it was a poor maintenance, tenancy was real bad. It was about to be closed by the police of Houston because the high index of criminality. You have all kind of bad activities, drugs, prostitution, vandalism, all kind of rats you can find in that place. And I bought it. And I think, oh my God, what I'm doing here? But well, I learned the lesson. I create value. This business was value play. I went into that venture. I cleaned the house, as they said. I started taking private security. I went to the police of Houston to be trained in order to bring back the community to the safe environment. And also, I started rebuilding the property. I started putting a lot of money, electrical, plumbing, mechanical, ACs. Finally, I built up a community, which was the best. I was with the idea, and my mission statement was to provide a decent living, housing for good people. And I created. And guess what? When the light train started crossing Fulton Street, I got an offer for someone to buy my property. This was the after of my property. And it was beautiful because I didn't even put it in the market when I received this offer. And just to summarize, I purchased in 2009 for 1.1 million. I sold it in 2014 for 2.3 million. I create a gross profit of 1.2 million, which was 109 rate of return to my investors. Guess what? Everybody was so happy, and me too. Because after all what I have done, all these nightmares, I got it done. I was so excited, but I said, well, what is the next step? In the meantime, I keep buying single-family houses in the residential area. And at that point, I have like 25 houses. But then it was tougher and tougher and tougher to get more retail prices because there was no more equity when you buy and purchase as before, when the crisis. Now I need to find how I'm gonna create the equity in those houses. And I came with the idea to buy a raw land and then start building from scratch. I said, that way I'm gonna create equity. And I talked to all my investors and they say, yeah, sounds a good idea. So I started looking for raw lands to start developing and start doing houses. I found a really good deal that is precisely at 9518 Caraway Lane, Magnolia, Texas. And now it's called Creekside Court. And this land, see the location. Once again, come with location, location, location. I got this sweet spot, 3 miles down to Woodlands Park. Just on the side of the 2978. If you cross 2978, Next is Woodlands. But then with the beauty that you don't have to pay the taxes for Woodlands, which is very high, and Magnolia is half of that. So you have the best of the two worlds. Once again, location, location, location. I think it was a very good upside to have this property. And then I'm going to tell you what was the good thing about this. The offer was listed for 1.6 million. I acquired for 1.2. From the beginning, I create a value of $400,000 in July of 2004. I overlapped, or I would say, when I sold the apartments, I purchased the land, which was very good for our partners as well. And this is more close view of what you can see my tract, 19.9 or 20 acres of land. Then, when I was trying to find out what to do with this property, because okay, it's too big. And then we said, okay, maybe we can divide it in 20 lots, 1 acre lots, and we sold them as ranch lots. Then, no, maybe we can do apartment complex again. No, maybe we can do commercial. It was a kind of tricky what to do with this big land. And I found in my way this company called Langan. Langan, those are the guys that have environmental and engineering mix of services. And they are a big firm. And I hired them to do a feasibility and find for me what's the best use for this land. What I found that they were a big, big company doing these big projects around Houston, Texas, and around all other cities. They've been in the market for 48 years. And when they come to me, a couple days later after I hired them, and they say, hey, Jose, I want to give you a proposal. We found that your property is in a very good location. It's not in any risk to be flooded. They gave me those maps from National Wetlands and from FEMA that the property was in safe place at low risk. And then they come with Highland Homes. Does anybody know here Highland Homes is a good reputation firm of home builders? And when they come with the idea that Highland Homes want to buy your land, I say, oh, good. And they say, can you give us the, allow us to do the plot in 57 lots, 70-foot front lot, and we can offer that to Highland Homes? I say, sure, why not? And then we start doing plots for Highland Homes. And then when I start finding who was Highland Homes, establishing since 1985, that they are the largest private home builder in Texas, but also they distinguish from others for best location, exceptional home designs, commitment to a customer service. And then I start looking at the communities they have already in Houston, and I found that those are really, really nice communities, high-end houses, and I think probably I'm in the best hands. After 6 plots, because from 70 feet fronts, they said, well, what about 65s? And what about 60s? They end up with 40s. We now have 119 lots, 40 feet front. The interesting about this is that after they see this plot, which was the second one, which was 119, they come with an offer, and they say, I'm gonna give you a purchase agreement for $4.9 million, which is the way we are gonna get deliveries from these lots. They give me a takedown schedule for 45 months, 5% earnest money, but they said also, I want fully developed. I need for you to put sewer, water, gas, streets, parks, everything. And I say, how am I gonna do that? I kind of know this. How am I gonna do this? Well, they say, well, you need to find the MUD or the utility district that is gonna help you to provide the utilities. Then I went to Woodlands MUD, and they say, we are full, we don't have capacity. And in fact, your property is too far from us. It's not cost effective to connect your property to us. Then I found that it was Monarch Utilities as well. I talked to them, and same thing. We don't have enough capacity for you to feed your property. You need to find or to do your own utility district. And say, really? And in 2015, thanks God, those are the homes that Highland Homes are gonna do. Thanks God, I found that they create the mod 17, the Harris County Improvement District 17. When they create this, they call me and say, Jose, we know that you have a tract here, and we want for you to annex your tract, and we are gonna service you with water and sewer and all the rest. And I said, well, explain me more about this. And they give me a reimbursement agreement for 100% of my cost of what I'm gonna put in the property. I didn't know that happened. I was just thinking, okay, I'm gonna invest money, I'm gonna put money in the ground, I'm gonna develop this land, and then I'm gonna sell it to Highland Homes, I'm gonna receive my money, make some profit, and that's it. Well, no, this is a sweet deal, because you have the reimbursement from the utility district. And then I say, oh, this is worth. I didn't even think about that, and I said, okay, good. They have another subcontractor with this, Aqua Texas. Then I went to find out who is Aqua Texas. And this is a big servicer for water and sewer in Texas. And here is a little bit of information about that, how this Aqua Texas is servicing water and sewer. But guess what? I have already a purchase agreement from Highland Homes. I have already a reimbursement agreement from the new HCID or the mod 17. I need someone to help me to understand the legal language on all this. Because I'm not a lawyer, I'm not an attorney. How am I going to know that it is correct or not? So I found these great firms of lawyers, Wilson, Cripps, and Gordon. They're real estate attorneys established in 1985. One thing that I like about that they call the boutique of real estate law firm in Houston. And that's true, because when I hired them, I found that they have attorneys specialized in mods, specialists in builders, specialists in developers. So they have all kind of specialists, which for my project was perfect. Because when I talked to the guy that was going to review my contract with purchase agreement with Highland Homes, he was already dealing with them. It was easy for him to read my agreement and say, Jose, this is correct, but you probably do some tweaks here and there. When I talked to the other guy that was working with the mod, he said, I'm very familiar with these guys. I know the people that is doing the utility district, they are a reputable firm, they are good. I'm glad that you are dealing with them. And he checked my reimbursement agreement and said, it's perfect, we just need to do some tweaks here and there. Oh, sweet spot as well. So let's start getting the best of the best. And then they said, well, I need now to find the money to do all this. And they said, well, you need to go with Pritchard. Pritchard is another law firm that they are specialized in investments, representing public and private offering for securities. And when I talked to them, they said, don't worry, you have a sweet deal here. So just need to know more information about that to put something together. Then I found that Highland Homes gave me 3 options for developers. They said, well, we're already working with 3 or 4, but you need to talk to them, show them your business, and then from there, you need to pick one of them. We like to work with them because they already know what we need, how we want it. We've been dealing with a lot of lots. And then I found that Rooted Development is another good part of the equation. They've been delivering thousands of lots to Highland Homes. And then I chose them. And I said, okay. Then I started looking a little bit about them, and they focus on the greater Houston area. They turned raw piece of land through early inception. And it was also very good because when I get the contract from these guys, developers at fee, and I turn it to Wilson and Cripps, they say, we already know the contract. We draft that contract. I say, oh, that's good. So I feel like everything is going into the same place at the same time. I say, this is great. Well, so when you found that I created a team, well, we start with Creekside Court LP. Then you go with a Creekside LLC, which is going to be the partner, the general partner who provides the land, because I already purchased, but you need to create all these legal entities in order to make it work. Then we are going to have here Highland Homes, which is the builder, is very good builder. Then we have Langanas Engineering Firm that I already talked about that. I'm going to try to put all the pieces together here so then you can see in the images how we already have the team together. Then we have the Improvement District, 17. We have for sure Aqua Texas that is servicing both, but they are connected between them because now Aqua Texas is subcontractor of the Mod 17, but also Langan is gonna work with Aqua Texas. So you can see in the graphics that all of them are some way interconnected in the business. Then I have Rooted, that is one of the referrals from Highland Homes, which is gonna be the developer fee. And then we have as well the attorneys, Wilson Graves, then we have Pritchard, and then we have the offering for LPs, which is limited partners. Those who are willing to put money in this, they are gonna get profits, of course, of the sweet spot that I'm telling you. Then we have here the Frost Bank, which is gonna be a senior loan to do the development. Why I'm coming with a Frost Bank? Because when I talk with the lawyers, with these attorneys about bringing investment, they say, well, it would be safe for you to do both. Not just private investors, not just lender. If you do a good mix there, you're gonna have better opportunities, and you are gonna reduce as well your legal expense. You're gonna do a lot of better stuff. It's good for you to do it this way. So I did this combination because my attorneys recommend that it would be the best to do it. As I said, I'm not a specialist on anything of this. I just get the best of them. I got Langan, I got Rooted, I had Highland, I had the Improvement District, I had the lawyers, and then I started dealing with all of them, and I became with a very nice and sweet team that is gonna help me to develop this land. You can see here a summary of what I was telling you. Location, location, location. West of Woodlands, property tax benefit from Magnolia and Montgomery, Highland demand on middle to high-end houses in the Woodlands, high demand for 40-foot lots in the last couple years, purchase agreement, Highland Homes for the total of $4.9 million. Total cost development investment is gonna be $4.5. Estimate cost reimbursement from utility district is 1.8. And I put it here 75%. Why? Because even when they give me a contract with 100%, I don't want to go with happy numbers. So I'm going to save place and say, you're 75%. If it is more, better. But at least I know that I can get 75% reimbursement. Development cost on site is 2.4 million and off-site is 600,000. Total is gonna be 3 million. When I talk on-site and off-site is the understanding that you have the infrastructure in the 19.93 acres, or the 20 acres, but then you need to get infrastructure also to go to connect to the main force, to the water plant. That's why you have off-site cost. That's what they call off-site. The overhead administration and finance cost is gonna be about 600,000. And the takeover is 45 months. As I said, that's the limit that Highland Homes put in the purchase agreement. Can be sooner, but can be not later than that. The land cost was 1.2, as you see before, and the private investor I'm looking for is $2 million. I'm gonna raise 2.5 from a senior loan from Frost Bank, and I'm gonna get 2 million from private investors. I have already a document called PPM for those who wants to learn more about this. And the exit strategy is 5 years. When I'm talking about exit strategy, I mean when we finish all the deal on this, it's 5 years. And it's going a little longer, why? Because if you say that it's 45 months from Highland Homes takedown, why you go to 60? Because the reimbursement agreement takes a little longer, and it's where you get your revenue. With the agreement from the utility district. The estimated gross profit for this deal is 2.2 million, which is estimated for private investors for about 1 million, which is 50% of the investment. And I'm gonna explain this, how this works. When you start selling and getting money from Highland Homes on the deliveries, that money goes straight to pay the loan. As soon as you pay off the loan, then you keep receiving money from Highland Homes and also from the utility district. Then you start giving back the money to the investors. And then after that, When you pay off all the investors at $2 million, then you receive more money. You pay off now the land, which was to the general partner. And then after you pay off all of that, then you are gonna get the profits. What is yours? You're gonna be your profits on the deal. What that means that in this case, your investment can be returned probably in 3 years, but your benefit, your profit is gonna be probably in the 4th year. When you do the math, sometimes the rate of return on that is not just 10%, it can be higher, depending on how soon I can pay back the capital. I'm really excited about this, and when I say, why Creekside Court LP? And this is a good question for me. What I should invest with you? Oh, I'm a good guy. This is the first one, right? But second, the experience, reliability, reliable team. That's very important. That's what I came with my background. That's what I came and explained you, what I have done in my other deals, how I'm doing, what I'm doing. When you know the person that is handling, because I'm the lead investor, and I'm presenting you this opportunity, and you say, well, who is going to be the manager of that? I'm going to be the manager. So you already know me. You have a little bit of my experience now. And then you say, okay, besides that, you say, okay, Jose Antonio, I trust you. You are a good guy. But then what next? Location, location, location. You have a very good property in a perfect location. As I said, marketing and value is already created there. Then you have secure sales and reimbursement. And what that means? That we are not going into that business to see if we are going to have someone to come and buy my lots. They already sold. We have a purchase agreement. And you're going to tell me, well, what if, always a what if, right? I like the what if, because it challenged me to know what if. What if Highland Homes all of a sudden say, drop the contract, or the market crashed, and there's another housing crisis? What is going to happen? They can back up. Well, first, when I asked Highland Homes about that, they laughed. They said, we never drop a contract, not once. You can find out, not once. I said, I believe you, but I want it by writing. I believe you that you are good. I see your reputation is high, but I need something that tells me that you are not going to back out. I said, okay. So we put an extra clause or a remedy in our agreement that for any reason, if they get into default, they are going to pay me for 70 lots, which was my break-even. So that's one way to mitigate the risk. And I can tell you as well, how I'm going to mitigate the risk in environmental issues, because I already have Langan doing all the environmental studies and feasibility for me. So I'm sure that I'm not going to go and build something in a property that is already with problems. I try to mitigate as much the risk as I can going with insurance, for example. We know that it's in low risk or it's not in flooding area. So as much as I can control the risk and reducing the risk, that's why you should come and say, okay, real estate is an asset. Real estate is one of the most secure investments you can find. It's not like happened in the past that I lost my savings, my life savings in the stock market when someone else was handling my money. Now I'm here, the manager. I'm the one that takes decisions. I'm the one that is taking care first because I'm the one that puts some more beef in the business. I'm the one that put more money here. I'm the one that is my reputation. It's everything that I put here in place. So for me, it's better to perform well and give results to my investors. And that's why I said, why you should invest in this opportunity. It's a sweet spot. It's pretty much what I want to inform you. If you want reference of the information of those companies that are working for me in this project, I have Highland Homes website, Langan, developer at Field Rooted Development, Wilson Cribs in Aqua, Texas. And I said to you, I'm really glad that you give me the opportunity to come and show you. And as I said, more than a presentation, a business opportunity. I get to run out.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jose.